All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing good today. And welcome back to the stream. It's been a while. Let's see. What do we do today? How is everything going today? Everything. It's kind of too early to ask about everything, I guess. Okay, let's get into it, I think. So, hello Nervin. Welcome to the stream. Today, I think we will continue. Oh, am I too quiet now, or am I okay? So last time we did this water-based ship. A ship that is made out of remains of other ships, and that was kind of fun. And I thought maybe since it's still July, headphones filtering, I see. So since it's still July, I think we can continue with drawing vehicles and transport. I added the captain to the ship. Don't know, I thought it's missing the scale, and with this guy there it's kind of more understandable what's going on, I think. Okay, so I think let's continue. He's a little weird, but I like him as well. He's like a grumpy Robin Hood captain pirate. Anyway, let's continue with more transport, I think. What do you say? Maybe this time we can do actually like air transport, ships and underwater ships. Underwater ships. So what I had in mind is maybe we can do like a scale of different ships. So maybe like one is for one person, another is like for a few people riding together, maybe like 4 or 5. So basically what I'm thinking, like we have a bicycle, we have some, maybe like a car in our world, I mean. So we have a bicycle, we have a car, then for maybe a larger group of people there can be like a trailer or camper rather, or it could be already public transport, maybe it's just a bus. So this is like for a lot of people. And then we would have, what else do we need? Maybe like a truck, a cargo ship of some sorts. Something like this, just for goods. So this is, do we need a 5th one? We can get maybe another, maybe like a train. Train is a good idea, I think. Or maybe it can be a train of trucks, actually. Anyway, let's just put a train here. And that's for a lot of goods. Okay, so this is what I have in mind for a scale. But we will draw, I mean, I will see how much time we spend on that, but I think I want to draw 5 airships and 5 underwater ships for those categories. Good morning, shoelaces in glass. Shoelaces in glass. Oh, got it now. Good morning, everyone. More transports will be great. It will increase the mobility of humans. Indeed. And we only did one kind of I mean, we did a few sketches, but it's just one in a way. Just for people who live on water. What about others? That's why let's start with the airship actually. Let's delete this stuff. Underwater ships will follow. Let's spread them out a little bit. So each one has a place. All right. How is it going, shoelaces in glass? How is it going in glass? So, for the first airship, let's see what we can do. One thing would be just to have like a simple kite or something like that. Maybe like a delta plan, where the human just hangs there kinda. You Carl my world. Welcome to the stream. And good morning. So that could be one, but it's kind of tedious to just hang there all the time. I think if you need to commute a lot, probably having something where you can sit could be better. Maybe it's just a seat with wings. There could be even a wheel here. Kind of like a bicycle construction. From the glass everything is transparent and visible. That's true. And it's safe in the glass. So maybe one could be something like this. I'm also thinking about like a single person air balloon. Maybe like this, and then the person just sits there. Why does the person need an air balloon if he has wings and a propeller? That's the question. Maybe no propeller needed. No, then they're just gonna drift around. Agree that the air needs to be explored more. Yeah, from the start we kind of started with the air a few streams ago, but it was mostly just ships with the clouds. Actually, maybe there is like a cloud rider. It could be like a saddle for the cloud. It's like a cloud slug. Something like this. And the person is sitting here. Riding a cloud slug with a cape. Don't know about an air balloon, but let's say there is like a little air balloon for one person with a propeller. There could be also helicopter-like machines, I guess. If you have like maybe 2 propellers on top and then like a bicycle construction at the bottom. Can be quite bulky. Something like this, for example. That could be like a 1-person helicopter. What else do we need? I think that might be enough ideas for the first one. We can always add more later if we need to. Let's move this slug a little bit. All right. What's next? Maybe this kind of ships for families, I think we can skip for now. They can be just bigger versions of the previous ones, and I think we have a few kind of ships drawn already. But let's just go to the other side of the spectrum, to these cargo trains. And I think that might be actually quite fun if we have like a train of skyships. I still don't know for sure how they're holding up in the air, so it doesn't really matter what shape they are. We don't really have to think about the physics of it and believability. So there could be a ship like this maybe. With these big sails. I kind of like triangular sails. I think especially the big ones that you see in Asia usually, or at least for some reason that associates with Asia in my head. So we would have one ship here and then maybe like a few floating platforms behind it. Maybe their platforms are held up with balloons of this kind of bread loaf shape. Maybe there are some ropes hanging around. Something like this. We can have some rails or whatnot. Maybe like special holders for the straps. Something like that, maybe. Don't know, that those bread loaves don't make much sense, but well, what can we do? If you have a loaf of bread, then you have a loaf of bread. Maybe there are a couple of ropes hanging between them. Some rails, at least on some parts of these platforms. Maybe just a lot of crates and barrels and all that stuff. The goods. Maybe something like this will count as a sky train. All right. Yeah, I think that works actually. There is like a ship in the front that uses the power of wind to move around, and there are just some floating platforms behind it. That makes sense to me. Kind of like a real train. But maybe we can come up with a second design for it. What if maybe the ship in front has, maybe in front there is a zeppelin. Like this. That's just dragging behind all of those platforms of some sort. Or maybe we'll have some ships instead of platforms behind this one. Then there is a rope from here. What can it drag though? Maybe it's a vertical train. What if this thing is carrying wagons like up and down. Let's scale this train a little bit. Oops. Vertical train. There could be two possibilities. One is that it's just going up and down like an elevator. And second could be that it's just slowly lifting platform after platform and then carrying this whole stack of platforms with them. Would it make sense? I'm not sure, but I kind of like the idea. Maybe some rails as well here and there. And it could have like these poles on which the upper floor needs to stick up. And then there are stairs that match when it stacks on top of itself. That would work, I think, to some extent at least. Maybe the Zeppelin should be bigger. With digital paint we can actually do this. That's what I miss in watercolor and pencil drawing and all that stuff, that you can't just select an area that you like and move it somewhere else or scale it up a little bit. I mean, you can kind of do it if you transfer it and all that kind of stuff, but it's not really convenient. Maybe different platforms have like different people with different statuses live, or with different jobs commute on different platforms, because it could be that the station for this Zeppelin would be like a long shaft, so it could have like elevator entrances kind of. So the first floor ends here, and then the second one goes down, and the third one goes lower. Could be something like this, maybe like a little station next to it. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But I kind of like the idea of vertical trains. Let's squeeze out one more, shall we? What can it be? Maybe another... Maybe like just a chain of ships. That's too big. Just a caravan of ships. Maybe they travel on air balloon power. and wheels. I think we haven't done a wheel ship in a while. Alright, what else do we need here? Maybe this ship will just have wings everywhere. Just to float. And this one as well. Maybe different set of wings. That doesn't doesn't look that fun as the other ones, I think. Let's scale this down a little bit. All right, let's do the middle one now. The kind of like the bus transport for a lot of people to commute to work or between air stations. What kind of buses can we do for the air? Let's see what we had in the beginning. What kind of ships? Because I remember we sketched a little bit. Those guys are mostly just air balloons and zeppelins. All right. Well, let's try to come up with something different now. Maybe not just a ship again. What if we try to do an actual bus and then add stuff that helps it float? Oh, it could have zeppelin bags, but underneath it, kind of like this. You know? That can work. I mean, it might not work in reality, but that's not what we're dealing with here. What about a yellow US school bus like they found in the trash and made it float? That's a good idea. Yeah, let's just put a, first of all, let's find a reference for the school bus. I like this one. Let's save it to our stream references. So it's kinda like this, and then it has wheel in front, and then it goes up a little bit, and then it has a wheel kind of like here. And then after the wheel it goes up and like that. Oh, I think my iPad disconnected. We lost visual. Oh no, bear with me, I'm working on it. Let's try this again. Ah, there we go. And the doors are really tall. That looks close enough to school bus, I think, right? Let's remove unnecessary lines, like all of this stuff. There is a usually these school buses also have some things that can swing open and protect the children when they're crossing the road. Like these, the stop signs, I think they can expand and let everybody know that there are children exiting. Maybe we can have something like that. Maybe not. Alright, let's remove these school buses. Yeah, close enough. They look a bit weird in general. Yeah, when you imagine them, they kinda make sense. But when you're trying to draw them, they seem a bit odd. Maybe they have these huge inflatable... Oh no, wait, they won't be able to exit. That's not good. Let's let them exit the bus sometimes. Something like this. I mean, compared to European buses, they look a bit off. True, the proportions look strange. I don't know actually if there are European school buses. Do you have school buses in Germany? I think you do. But do they look like regular buses then? This could be like a way to hold the Zeppelin parts. Like this big inflatable pillow kinda. Yes, they have school buses in Germany. Nervin says they're usually just normal buses. In the countryside they have extra buses just for school children. And then they go from like village to village collecting children, right? Because it can cover a big territory. I don't know, something like this maybe. Does this make any sense? But I think they're in the city. Here in the city, the school children just take public transport as they're quite frequent. Yeah, that makes sense. And in the city, usually you also have more options to get to school. So it's not like if you miss your bus, you can't get there. We never had a school bus in Russia. It was also always just public transport. I think this inflatable school bus might be the most fun so far. Good thinking, Nervin. In elementary school, the bus was only for school children. Later, it was a normal bus that people also take for work. Very rarely, as everybody in the village has cars. But the buses are kind of only running from the school hours, as those are the only people there who don't have cars. That makes sense. That's good that they have special school, like extra buses for children and I guess teachers, and probably those have cars though. All right, so we have one bus for the public transport option. Do we need something else? Let's draw another one, because we have few options for other two sections. You can't really survive without a car there. Yeah, so so I've heard, but it's I think the same in a lot of places in the United States, where people usually live around the city in a way, so you have to have a car to get in the city. That is why I don't like living in the countryside. Everything seems to so tedious if you want to get there, but you have nature around you. How about a bubble bus? Maybe it has also these bananas to sit on water, to land on water. Keep afloat? Whatever. Norman says, you have seen where I grew up, there is not much nature. Yeah, there are mostly fields. Mostly fields and fields of crops, of cabbage. That's why you like cabbage so much. You breathed it in with the air of your childhood. Maybe it's just part of the bus. It's a very dangerous type of transport that's called the bubble bus. They make a huge bubble on top, and if it floats, they rise, and if it doesn't, they fall. That's the tricky part about riding a bubble bus. Cabbage is healthy. How about a cabbage bus? Maybe this bus transports cabbage. Maybe it's a big soap bubble. That's why it's so dangerous, but that kind of becomes more whimsical. I shared my gouache studies. I just finished to Discord. Oh really? Let's see. I think I have. Where is it? I think it should be here. Oh yeah, let's see. Announcements. No. Stream. Art share. No. Art. No. General. Wait. Where did you share it again? I don't see it, Nervin. Oh, it stopped uploading. Okay. Let's continue in the meantime with our air server, which I think disconnected again. Oh no, iPad disconnected. Okay, let's see what Nervin did in the meantime. Ooh, the skies. That's really cool. I like as it turned out as a whole, you know. And I think I commented on most of them. This one, the one before the last one, I think now is my favorite. I really like this gradient into lightness in the upper part. Don't know, looks really nice. And in total, like these nice tidy squares. Good job there. Let's try sharing the screen again. Alright, now we can see what I mean by this bubble bus. I think it disconnected before and probably no one saw anything. Next prompt is trees though. Trees are not bad as a prompt. They're kinda simple in terms of mistakeability. It's kinda hard to mess up trees because there are so many different trees. Whatever you draw, there probably is a tree that looks like that. You know. Alright, we have another maybe 20 minutes or so today. Probably gonna be a short stream, mostly sketches. But we can continue on one of these. Okay, we have A, B, and C. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, it's time to vote, guys. which one should we work on more a little bit today? We can pick another one for the next time, but let's pick one of the, maybe one of the smaller ones, just to have some. To what? You see there is also ABC on top. You need to say which one of the two. There is this two, this two, this two, B2, this one you say. Alright, let's say this will be our sketch for today then. Copy and paste. Ta-da! Shoelaces and glass agrees with Nervin's suggestion. Alright. Perfect. We have majority, I think. Let's make it a little more transparent. Should we do it in perspective or should we do it sideways? Let's do it sideways. And I will help myself a little bit with the guides, just to have some basic horizontal and vertical lines. Maybe it needs some sort of like a shield in front to protect the bubble from the air. Maybe a big tail. Okay. Let's just throw some lines here and there. Kinda just to help ourselves. This can also be a bubble though. This banana shape at the bottom. Maybe it has stairs there or something like that. Could be that all airships there don't have walls or have minimal walls, so people can jump into the water when the ship is going down, because I can imagine it's gonna happen there a lot. What a wobbly line. No, that's a good line, but in a bad place, kinda. Or maybe it's okay. Let's just extend this a little bit. There could be like this fang in front. Not fang, fin. That cuts through the air. For some reason it still makes the line straight, even though I'm trying to make it a little bit curvy. Let's see what's in the preferences. gesture controls. Quick shape, yeah, that's the one. Draw and hold. You can't really tweak it, right? Alright, doesn't matter. Okay. Let's just do it freehand then. Or maybe we can make it straight. Yeah, that works as well. Not sure about the material from which this thing is constructed, so it might be a little bit tough to do the textures until we come up with a material. So far it kind of looks like it used to be a Volkswagen, like this hippie wagon, whatever it's called. Let's try to make them the same size at least. Maybe there is a like little extra window cut here for no apparent reason. Alright, so don't know what is gonna be inside, so let's just draw some undistinguishable shapes for now, then decide on that later. It's time for the banana. Something like this, I guess. Never really used this quick shape function in Procreate, so it's sort of new to me. Let's try this. Yeah, does it make sense? I guess good enough. Here could be a little extra roof. Maybe because it's always sunny when you're in the sky. There could be stairs. Something like There probably could be also some cloths for just shadows within the truck itself. And a big tail. Something along these lines. Not sure how it holds there, but it can have some ropes, I guess. Here could be like a ladder as well. Some ropes so people don't fall out. Some more ropes. I don't think they would have a flag there because it can pop the bubble. Hello, the onion. It is indeed a floaty van. That's we call it the bubble bus because it has a bubble. That's kind of where the name comes from. Welcome to the stream. We're having a short stream today. I think I'm gonna draw maybe another 15 or so minutes. Oh, I can imagine a camping ground with those cans. Which cans? You mean with these bananas? Okay. Oh, vans, not cans. Okay. Camping ground with bubble bus campsite. I think that makes sense. Oh, wait a second. Trying to find. Oh, there is crossfade. 3 seconds. Alright. Yeah, let's continue. Hello, Nervin. Hello, Onion. So that's a bubble bus. It's supposed to be a people carrier. So I don't know if there will be like seats. Maybe there would be seats along the side, like looking sideways, like this. And it could be some also area for storage inside and stuff like that, maybe. Amphibious. Yeah, I think it can, since it's a bubble bus, you know, the bubble can really burst quite easily. A bird can fly into it, or a gust of wind can like tear it apart and make it float away. So it's important to be ready to land especially if you're landing on water. Okay, let's put this to overlay maybe. No, this one is good. This one can get even less visible. Do you have anything new to share, Onion? Any new sketches or doodles? I will try to color this bananas in the meantime. Ah, there we go. Just wasn't full opacity brush for some reason. Alright. I have quite a few sketches, nothing that interesting except this one I'm working on with the theme cyberpunk. Let's see. Oh, this is a cool one. Is this some kind of like a gadget or like a robotic arm kind of stuff on the head, on the elbow hand thingy? I'm curious to see how it's gonna look in color or with some more details. Like the shape on the arm is really intriguing, but I like the pose. That's a really cool pose, yeah. I agree, Nervin. Just some robo arm. I haven't really thought of it through. Just going with cool shapes. That's a good approach as well. The rule of cool. I also did it a few times when I would just draw a random, since I don't really know how to draw characters and my time hasn't come yet to actually study it, even with some tutorials and all that stuff. But sometimes I challenge myself to doodle a character or two, and in those cases I will show you actually. I sometimes just come up with a stupid shape like these guys. I just came up with a kind of pear shape and I thought, okay, let's try to do characters out of them. And then just a few, I don't know, an hour or two later, I doodled these weirdos. I'm not a visual thinker, so I don't really plan my things beforehand. I just see where things lead me and try different things out on them. That's kind of the best approach you can get, I think. Instead of aiming for a specific result, aim for the learning along the way. This way you will always be rewarded with the new information about yourself and what you can and cannot do, or what frustrates you, or what do you want to achieve. what kind of color do we want for the truck itself? That's the question. There would be some wooden parts, of course, because I just like putting wooden stuff everywhere. But what about the color of the truck? Blue? Should be something bright, I think. So it's visible in the sky. Maybe like red. Maybe red is a little too much. Boaty boat face color. Alright. Maybe it's gonna be green truck. Let's actually just create a new layer and try out different options. Yeah, let's just select everything. Alright, so this is if we have brown truck. But what if we want... Oh, purple truck works really well with this yellow. Blue truck also. Red. Maybe not so much. Well, red is also not bad. Orange is a little too happy. Green. Stop me, someone. Okay, I say this color will do. It will be blue sky reflecting, I guess, from the window. We'll add some, I guess, darker shades later to the windows. Or maybe not later, actually. Something like that. Don't like this part. Maybe we need some brighter, like sun color blicks, highlights. That Onion is now hosting me. Hey, thank you, Onion, and thanks for stopping by. Leaving a lurk. Sweet. Thanks, man. See you next time, I guess. Take care. Alright, let's not spend too much time on that part. It's not the most important part, I think. Trying to smudge around the red underneath. Okay, merging. Come on. Let's do the top part as well. I think this also probably would have been red. Except of these metal holders for the air bubble, soap bubble. Let's add a little bit more warmer tones on top because that's where the sun hits. So it needs to be a little bit warmer. That's generally a good trick that I do. I haven't really mastered it really because I'm doing it more or less randomly, but whenever you're picking the color for a new area and need it a little bit darker or brighter, don't just make it brighter or darker, also add some hue changes to it, and suddenly it adds so much to the this painterly look of the image. That's what you're trying to achieve, of course. It looks like a pub inside. Yeah, you're right. It's a pub bus. Bubble bus pub. Bubble bus? Different colors of cloth here. Maybe some wooden parts of the roof as well. Maybe it is a pub. But it's probably quite dark there because it's against the light sky behind it, so everything looks darker, which can actually help us a little bit with this seating problem. You don't really need to draw details on the seats, since we can just make sure that people can see that it's seats. Also, I think I will move them a little bit down. It would make sense to not sit on the edge of the ship that is like the thing that is flying high. Especially if it's a pub bubble bus, then people can get drunk and fall overboard, which I think you want to avoid usually with public transport. Less casualties is better usually. Some of this stuff will probably just be dark because it's again just a silhouette in front of the sky. Flying cafe. Yeah, something like that. If it's a flying cafe, then maybe people won't go overboard if they don't get drunk as much. This should be wooden probably. Maybe there is another, I don't know, something hanging there. Or maybe there are more ropes. And these ropes will be lighter. Just because they are in the sun. Maybe even more sun highlights here and there to make them stand out a bit better. Darken a little the insides of the holders for these bananas. I'm looking forward to painting that bubble because I haven't really painted soap bubbles before, so it's gonna be interesting. Maybe this part also should be metallic, but then it would have a lot of reflections from the sun and from this bottom green yellow part. It's gonna be important to check all those reflections just for the sake of more realistic look, I guess. I lately really like just adding random, or not completely random, but just changing the color while painting more dramatically than I would usually do, just because it's kind of, I don't know, it's fun to experiment with it. You can kind of always go back if you're doing it digitally, and most of the time it actually works out quite well and adds to the realism, because there is so much happening most of the time with reflective surfaces. I guess we need some darker spots as well. That's the tricky part with reflective surfaces, that they have very high range of contrast, and you either need to observe it or know, but well, yeah, you need to observe it to know, to learn, and I'm mostly kind of guesstimating, I guess. It doesn't always work out. Actually, I don't like all of that. Let's add some more shadows to the other side. I think these things between the cloth strips also should be probably wooden. Alright, we're getting closer to the bubble. I think I will paint one more rope here, and then it's bubble time. Maybe more ropes here. Something like this. Okay, bubble time. Let's create a new layer. Let's look at one reference, soap bubble. So we see that it's just going all over the place. Okay, all the colors you can imagine are there. Let's just start with bright yellow on the outside. Also, let's stop this Viking praying stuff. We can always change the outer shape or make it a little bit less rough, so I'm not worried about the bubble not being really round on the outside. Such dramatic music for the soap bubble drawing. It sounds a little bit like Mission Impossible or something. As if we're trying to make a heist movie out of this soap bubble. So there is this pink layer, kind of, and then there is blue layer, and then there is green layer. So there is basically the whole rainbow in the soap bubble. Let's blur them together a little bit. So it's probably gonna be just dark in the middle. What if there is sky behind it? Will you just see the sky? Probably yes. Yeah, let's not make it dark in the middle. Instead, let's keep blurring this stuff. The most important part of a soap bubble, I think, is these reflections. So we just need to add some more bright stuff, I guess. Maybe in like a color dodge mode. And then it's gonna be a little bit on this side as well. Maybe some stuff here. Just let's add shitload of reflection everywhere. Do we need reflection in the middle? Maybe just a little bit, make everything a little bit brighter. I guess that can work. Pretty bubble. It actually turned out quite fine, surprisingly. Much better than that window. Let's change the background, I think, to something more sky-like. Something like this, I guess. And maybe if we add some little bit of clouds behind it, can help. Let's just add some big stuff first. All right. I think with this we will end today's stream. I will work more on this bubble bus because it's kind of fun and I think it can turn out quite interesting. But for now, I want to thank you all for joining, and I hope you got a little bit inspired or just chilled a bit. And if you do draw something or want to share whatever you sketch, be free to do it on Discord and all those other good things. Maybe actually I will link them here. Shoelaces and glass. Thanks for a nice stream and many ideas for drawing. I would suggest to think, for example, about exploring the possibilities of underwater moving for the next time within vehicles topic. That's a good one. Shoelaces and glass. That was kind of the plan for this stream, but also it's too long to do both air and underwater. So I think that's exactly what we're gonna do next time. But until then, have a good day, have a good week. Bye bye everybody.